Hi, I'm Terri Walsh. Welcome to the Art Method Virtual Studio. Let's talk for a few minutes about how you take an Art Method class. The first thing is to realize that I don't expect everyone to be able to complete the entire class the first time they do it. And the classes are designed to accommodate people of all different levels, whether you're beginner, intermediate, or advanced. So in the Art Method, we train and coach people to work at their own pace. So the classes may seem a little different to you. I'm not going to force people into a certain rhythm the way you would see on most DVDs or in fitness in general. That's kind of how things run for the most part. In the Art Method in classes, I'm going to set up the combination. I'm going to teach it to you. I'm going to give you a repetition target. And then I'm going to let you work it out and let you work at your own pace. And then at a certain point, I will bring the group back together so we can move on to the next thing. I don't want you to feel as though you're lagging behind. If you don't hit the rep target, because the classes are online and they're going to remain online, you can always go back and redo those classes. And that's how you're going to know if you're getting better. So I don't want anyone to feel intimidated. And also, if you're intermediate or advanced, I'm expecting you to work at your capacity, which means if you can exceed the repetition target, I'm going to expect you to do that. If you can move faster than the pace I've set, I'm going to expect you to do that. So there's leeway in there, and that's one of the things that makes the Art Method very different, that there is no, everybody does it the same speed, the same way, because the bottom line is that's just not how human beings work. And I'm really interested in giving people the space and time to learn and understand what they're doing and be able to manage their active resistance points and be able to reset an exercise when they need to. The next thing is the equipment. I don't want you to flip out about equipment, okay? You can do the workouts with almost no equipment whatsoever and still get a lot out of it. So I don't want you to feel like you have to go out and buy a whole bunch of stuff to start. So work with what you've got currently in your home and then slowly start to add on. The stuff you see here is not that expensive and you can add it on as you go. But over time, you're going to see us do classes with yoga blocks. I do classes with between 2 and 4 yoga blocks. So at the max, you'll need 4. And right now, you know, in the beginning, you don't even need them at all. You can do everything without the yoga blocks. You'll need a mat. It doesn't have to be a yoga mat. I prefer a sticky mat because it makes you more aware of your feet. And we'll be using, at different points in time, we'll be using tubing and or rubber bands. Everyone is familiar with these. I love a good set of dumbbells, and don't worry, we do everything from high repetition and low weight to heavy weight and low repetition. So the Art Method is not dependent on a dogma either way. I love all of it, and with the Art Method, we will explore all of those things. I also adore my wobble pads. So there aren't any classes in the first round that I've just released that use the wobble pads, but at a certain point you will want to get yourself some wobble pads, as if these aren't wobbly enough. And we have an ankle or wrist weight, and I prefer a 3-pound. But anywhere between 1 and 3-pound ankle and wrist weights will be useful for you. And then we have kettlebells. I love kettlebells. So we have in the studio, we have them in the ranges of 15 pounds up to 25 pounds. So any range of kettlebell is great. And we use chairs. So we use a good sturdy chair in the studio, and I probably guess that you have one at home. So that is kind of some of the equipment that we'll use, and this is just a reminder that you don't have to have all of this just to get started. You don't. You can start with as little as you've got and still get an amazing workout, because the Art Method is a layered fitness experience, and that's why we call it a practice. And let's talk about the art method as a practice. When you ask me how many days a week should I do this, what is the program, and that's the thing. The art method isn't a program. It's a practice. So we look at the art method mat classes as our practice. And here in the studio, we have our boot camp classes, and that is the program that we use when we are putting clients through different boot camps to get different results depending on what they need. So the thing to remember that in order to have a healthy lifestyle and to be in shape all the time and to be fit as just a way of life is that you have to kind of start to rearrange your thinking about how fitness can become a practice and not just a program. And there are a lot of great programs, and there's nothing wrong with doing a program, but what do you do when the program is over, right? You need a way to integrate it into your life. So what we do with the art method is we practice every day, between 3 and 5 times a week. I recommend you take 2 days off, and as far as your fitness level is concerned, you don't already have to be in shape in order to get started with the art method or to learn the art method. Learning the art method, no matter where you are in your fitness level, is all about daily practice. And so let's talk about some of the things you're going to encounter in a art method class. And a lot of an art method class has to do with the technique study. And the technique study is something you'll do right after your 5-minute warm-up. So there's a 5-minute warm-up, there's a technique study for 10 minutes, there's a dynamic cardio toning sequence, and then there is your focus strength mat or body part workout. And so that's, in general, the layout of every single art method class. So people like to avoid the planks and the push-ups because they're hard, but they are integral, totally integral to everything we do here. And I know they suck. I don't like them either. But you have to stick with it, and they will get easier with time. And I will post a video on how to modify your planks and how to modify your push-ups and give you a little tutorial on how to work on them so that you can build up your strength. So you have to realize that the things you avoid are exactly the things you need to conquer in order to get your results. You can't keep avoiding the things you don't like just because you don't like them. The better you get at them, the more you will start to like them. So it's important to realize that with the art method, you can go at your own pace. You can redo any of the classes as many times as you need to. So I don't want you to feel like I have to program it for you. I want you to be able to work on each class in your own time, in your own way. And I'm always there to answer your questions. Like once you've joined and you are integrated into the private fan group, you can post any questions you need to in order to be able to maximize what you get out of your virtual studio membership. So, and the next question I get is about cardio. Do I need to do extra cardio? How much cardio is it? And here's my feeling on that. These workouts are cardio. If you're doing them correctly, they are cardio. Your heart rate will get into that high intensity, fat burning cardio zone if you're using your active resistance points correctly. So you don't really need additional cardio. And to be honest, if you want to do different types of cardio, love it. I love cardio. Right now, we don't have the space to do big cardio classes. So that's why I don't offer them on our schedule. We just don't have enough room to have people moving around in that fashion. I will post some cardio combinations and some 15, 20, and 30-minute cardio bursts using the art method techniques for you as we get going. So I want you to love your cardio, but just don't overdo your cardio, okay? And let me think. If you have any other questions, post them in the private fan group, and I will answer them for you. And I look forward to seeing you in class.